I love big titties.
Hey now, hey now. Oh wait, I was thinking like, hey now,
Don't dream it's
over.
over.
What's up, man? How's it going, everybody, dudes and dudettes, and everybody out there? What's up? It's the week of Thanksgiving. We're here in the flesh. Christian, what's going on, man? You ready for turkey?
Yeah, I am. You know, my grandma doesn't watch this, so I'll share this. It's been a little hectic. My grandma, she went to go. She's 80. She drives. She moves around. She does her thing. And a couple weeks ago, she just like her hip separated. Her leg bone like separated from her hip, trying to get into her car, and she just got home the other day, and she can barely walk. It's just from recovery. She's doing home health and all that, and it's been a lot with the family because like my mom and my grandma are like they live right next to each other. They're so tight, and it's just been a little stressful with all that. But I think she's gonna be able to make it over to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. You know, it's funny. Like I was bugging my dad. He did it one time. Dude, I loved it. I'm sure you've had it before. He made me a fried turkey one year,
Oh
and it
yeah,
fucking kicked my ass, dude. Like, I
yeah.
loved it. And I love the legs. And, dude, I've been begging my dad to do it, but, like, my mom is like she doesn't eat. My mom, like, eats, like, no salt, nothing. Like, so she, like, every time we cook, I hate this. Whenever we cook, it's always like, "Here's the season if you wanna put anything on your meat or whatever." I'm like, "You're supposed to cook this shit on it." Like, you don't put paprika on a piece of goddamn chicken after you cook. You gotta cook it on. What the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
yeah, it's supposed to soak up in it, man.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't wanna eat if my mom's at my mom's house. It's all nasty. It just is. But no, I'm sorry. I don't wanna go long-winded. I have a bad habit of that. But yes, I am ready, man. I got the rest of the week off, and I'll let you talk, and then I'll complain more.
No, you're good.
How are
I'm
you? Are
just
you
yeah.
ready? Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Uh, yeah, I'm doing something different for the first time this year. My mom, uh, she lives in Florida. My grandparents live in Florida. We were gonna go this year, and my job was like, yeah, we can't let you because if we give you that Friday off, Black Friday, we have to give your brother it too because he works for the same company. He's also a general manager for another store in our company. So they were like, we'd have to give it to both you guys, and we don't want to do that. And so we're not going to Florida now. So my brother and I are going to order it from like a restaurant. Like for the first time ever, we're going to do the like order the cooked Thanksgiving, all the fixins, and just
Oh,
have it
nice.
at home. Yeah. So I haven't decided what restaurant yet. There's a couple that I've been looking at. I know Bob Evans does it. Whole Foods does it, which was interesting. Golden Corral does it. We'll figure something out.
Oh,
But
Golden Carol.
yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. But yeah, we'll do something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's the only day of the year I eat turkey, dude. I don't even eat a turkey sandwich any other
No,
day
me
of the year.
neither. Me neither. I like turkey, but dude, you talk about getting burnt out fast. One day of it, it's just like, I'm good. Don't show me leftovers the day after. Like, I'm not interested. I don't want any. My mom always tries to shove a big ass piece in Ziploc bags and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
that's growing up like I did. It was like right after Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, what's for dinner tonight? Leftovers. What's for dinner tomorrow? Leftovers. It was like my mom would milk that cow for all it was worth, buddy. So
Like, it's a thing. Like, people like eating cold turkey too. It's just nasty shit to me.
yeah, no
Y'all
thanks.
are sick.
No
I
thanks.
think it was that Saturn video. It says he drizzles salt on cold turkey out of a Ziploc bag. Like, dude, that's like Henry Portrait serial killer shit to me. What are y'all talking about? You know?
Hey, man, shout out to you, Mark. That is kind of weird. You know, hope it's good. I will never try that myself. Yeah. Nah, dude, people will take that shit. Well, okay. Are you somebody that do you give yourself a second helping on Thanksgiving though? Like, will you at least eat more later that night?
Well, maybe. Like I'll get my first plate. I always get turkey. Like I'm a real picky eater.
Same.
So like we'll have turkey, um, dressing, the damn thing what is that purple thing that's in the shape of
Cranberry
a can?
sauce.
The one it's in the shape of a
Yeah,
can though.
cranberry
Okay.
sauce. Yeah.
Yeah. To me that shit's nasty. I'm
You
not
just
interested
open
in
that
that.
shit, it comes out like a jello fucking yeah, yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's like barely anybody. I think my grandma touches it. Like she just takes like a little like do like the size of like a Jolly Rancher piece off of it, and then the thing just sits on a little butter tray in the middle of the table. Um, we always have baked macaroni, and that's where I shine. That's where I really put away, you know, the groceries on that. So I don't know. It depends, dude. Sometimes the turkey tastes good to me, and sometimes it tastes like shit. So we're gonna
The
see what
great
happens this year.
it's the gravy, man. The gravy makes it, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh
But
no, no, I agree. I agree.
yeah, all right. Well, cool. Look, guys, we decided we're not going to sit here and talk about Thanksgiving movies, November movies. One, because there's hardly any. Two, because we've done that before. I think we did that last year. Um, and if you just talk about movies literally all the time, it can get kind of exhausting. You guys know us pretty well by now. You know what I want to do today is I want to talk about what we're thankful for, Christian. You know, just what we're thankful for over the years, and some of that would be, just our eras. Eras of us and things that live in the annals of internet history forever. And none better than stuff like this, man. Just
See, he doesn't look it was he a husky dude? Because he doesn't look husky, or was the suit just too tight?
it was both. Dave's a husky guy, but yeah, that suit. The suit was for me. I got it one year, so
Wait, was that the dude where you guys where you guys this is so funny to me because back in the day when you were dropping those behind the scenes videos, I took them seriously. And then like years later when I realized like 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 when I went back and watched the videos again and saw them, they were glaring to me just how bizarre they were. Because you sit down and you're like in your pajamas, which not much has changed. You got your Steelers beanie hat on and all this, and you try to start talking about your movie, and then this dude is literally trying to burn something next to you. Like he was trying to burn something.
it
And
wasn't
you were sitting in these little lawn chairs in the garage.
it wasn't the most professional operation, and I am not surprised that Miramax never called.
You know what though, dude? At the time though, like this is what people don't understand is at the time that was YouTube. Like that was YouTube. God damn. He must be tall too.
Yeah, we're the same height. We're both 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in there. Yeah.
That fucking mask is amazing.
That's why I screen grabbed these just for the mask, but this is my favorite one, Christian.
Dude, if I saw that shit if I drove down the road and I saw that shit, I would just stop and fucking I just Do you still talk to that guy?
Yeah, we have a group chat over text. It's the four of us: Phil, Dave, and Kyle. That's Dave. Obviously, Phil was the guy that used to do my like editing a couple years ago. It was the four of us that lived together when we all moved out. When we were all like 19. We all got a place together, so we stay in touch. But I haven't seen Dave since my wedding. Uh,
Was that the place you had where it was, like, red and black walls or some shit? Like, this was years ago where you reviewed Jeepers Creepers 3 or
yeah, that was one of the houses that we lived together for years. We lived in a house in a neighborhood, then we moved to a townhouse, and then we moved into another house in a neighborhood. And then
yeah,
that third house was the last one that we all lived together. That's when everybody started to get married and we all went our separate ways. And then when the lease was up, that was it. Which I've seen Phil was just at my house 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
Um, we hung out for a couple hours. I've seen Kyle a couple times over the last few years. He's got 2 kids now, and well, he's about to have his second daughter, and he's married, and whatever. But Dave, I don't know what Dave's excuse is. I mean, he's married, but you know, he does. I won't get into the inside baseball, but he says he works a lot. And Dave, if you're watching this, you're a dick because I haven't seen Dave since my wedding, which was wow, man, almost 4 years ago.
I'm not trying to defend him, dude, but it's funny because as I've gotten older, man, I get anxiety thinking about leaving my house to go hang out with people. And I'll be honest, I kinda blame YouTube. I really do. Like, I'm so lazy to the fact that, if me and you lived near each other and, like, we recorded this, like, in studio together, if we had, like, a place where we recorded it, I would be like, "Oh, fuck, I gotta go somewhere." Oh my
Yeah,
god, like,
yeah.
I love the fact that, like, when I'm done with this, it's like you get to hang out with your friends, you get to bullshit at you're at the bar, and then you're done. But, like, my friends opened a tattoo studio in our town, and, I was like, "I gotta book an appointment and go because I told him I wanted to get which it's still healing. I got a little Jason Lives tattoo, but it looks like shit right now because, dude, I heal horribly with tattoos. It takes me a long time, but I had so much anxiety going. I'm just like, "Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere." I'm getting bad, man.
I
Like,
feel it.
I go to work, I go to band practice, which is fine, but and I'm okay around strangers. Like, I'll go to Walmart like that. But if I see somebody I know, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, see, I don't blame him necessarily either, but that's the thing about Dave. That's not the reason for Dave. The reason for Dave is just, I don't know, because we all got into it a couple weeks ago, in our group chat. And in fairness to Dave, the three of us were ganging up on Dave, and we
Was
were
it
like, dude,
football related or
no, he was just he was in his feelings, I guess, and he was talking about wanting to hang out and stuff, and
Oh, and
we
you
were
said, "Well, fuck you, I've been trying to?"
yeah, that's kind of what we all said. And I was like, dude, we've all hung out over the last couple years and none of us have seen you. And he's like, I work a lot, and he does. He does work a lot. He's an electrician, like he works crazy hours and stuff. So I get that. I was
Oh,
like,
so the suit came in handy.
yeah, yeah. But I was like, yeah, man, like, we're trying. I mean, I love Dave to death, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think we all could. But like I said, what you were talking about in his defense, dude, I'm the same way. I can't tell you how many times I've flaked on plans with like Phil because I'm not feeling up to it. Like
Yeah.
it's just like I'd rather not. I get home from work and I'm like, the first thing I want to do when I walk in the door is like eat and watch videos on my phone for a while. Like
Yeah, you gotta decompress.
yeah, I don't really want to be like, oh, okay, I'm off. Let me run home, take a shower, get dressed, and I'm back out. That's just not my thing. I fucking hate that. So
Dude, I'm telling you, when we were younger, before all this shit, and before super smartphones, like when we had semi-smartphones, meaning like when we had phones that we could pull up YouTube on and stuff, but you could only use it for a few minutes because you only had so much data. That was the perfect nebulous time because reality and hanging out was truly still the social media that we had. Like you wanted to go to the movies with everybody. You wanted to go pull up at the fucking Sonic drive-in and just see which of your buddies pulled up and you could see them and hang out. Now, you know, it's fucked up. It's like back then when you wanted to escape reality, you went on the internet and looked up stuff on YouTube and pulled up stuff on your phone, which was a new thing. But now we get to escape social media, we actually get out of our house and do something. It's like it's completely reversed now. To escape our normal life is when we actually go out and do things as opposed to what it was back then. Getting on the internet back then was like a fun thing, but now it's just like, I gotta put social media away. I gotta stop doing this. I'm gonna go outside and do something. It's completely reversed now. I
I
can't
think
imagine these kids, dude. I really can't imagine these kids in high school, what they deal with. Like, no bullshit, man. Like, it's gotta be tough for them because
yeah,
everything's on the internet now, and
I
it's
think
all
another thing that we're not talking about, dude, COVID. COVID changed a lot of the way people felt because we got used to not going out. We got used to
yeah.
not hanging out with our friends. So it was like, I don't know if you'd call it spoiled, but like we kind of did get spoiled in a way of like, fuck yeah, dude. I don't have to do anything.
I can't believe that's fixing to be 5 years soon, dude. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll go down a rabbit hole if we start talking about that. But another thing, I talk about being thankful for eras of ourself. And Christian, I just got to ask you about Charles Lee Ray.
See,
You
City,
you look like Charles Lee Ray.
I can't tell. You see, when I did it in the moment, I hated that look. But now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, that doesn't look that bad.
I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just it is it I mean, you're Brad Dourif in Child's Play. You look like Brad Dourif.
I do.
Yeah. If they want to go back and do a remake of Child's Play and they need to do the opening sequence through the toy store, they're
I do
calling
it.
you. Yeah.
You see what I'm subconscious about on this photo? I got no problem talking about this because it's like it's not that bad, but you see how I guess that's technically my right eye. You see how I don't have all my nerve endings in that part of my head or my face. I was a breech birth. So I was fucking
Okay.
stuck in my mom head first and I killed nerve whatever you call it. But no, Sydney kept bugging me to shave. She's like, "Please just shave. Just shave." She wants me to cut my hair, which I may cut my hair down the road. I don't know. I've had my hair long now for going on 2.5 years, 3 years now, where I've kept it long, so now I'm like scared to cut it. But she's like, "Just shave," and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." And I hated it in the moment, but now that I look back at that, I'm like, I don't look that bad. I
Yeah.
like the stubble look, but I don't know.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the thing about your eyes and you're self-conscious about that. You have a good reason. My face is the same way. I will intentionally take photos. When I take photos, I'll try to make sure that they're level and like even. And I have to try sometimes because one of my eyes is slightly like doesn't open as much. But that's because I broke my orbital bone when I was 19. And the doctor told me, like, since you broke this bone, once it heals, like your eyes are going to be like a centimeter off for like the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I notice it sometimes. I'm like, fuck, one of my eyes is open more than the other one. Yeah.
Well, whose face is symmetrical anyway? They just do.
Okay. So here's another Jim. Christian, I got to know the backstory behind this one.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. That was 2011, maybe even 2010. Um I had gotten completely hooked on 80s culture at that point before it was really kind of cool. So those are I'm wearing acid wash Levi Strauss jeans from like 1984 that I bought on eBay. And that is just some kind of like sports coat that I got at a flea market. And
I think it's pimping. I think it's a pimping look. And I think you knew that in a moment too, because you're lounged back. You're like, yeah, what's up?
see, I was doing YouTube videos back then, but I wasn't I was doing video, but I wasn't posting them on YouTube, and That was actually that was actually a horrible period of my life. It was, like, the worst breakup I had ever gone through right there.
Isn't that when you were struggling with, like, eating as well? Didn't you say you went
Oh,
through a phase?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had if you look up old videos of me, dude, like, I'd make you look fat now the way you look. That's how skinny I was. I probably weigh, like, 115 pounds.
Yeah, I weigh 175, like, I'm just really tall,
No, I know
but
you're tall, I get that. I'm just saying, but you're skinny. I'm saying I
yeah,
was so
yeah.
skinny, you would've looked fat next to me. That's how skinny I was.
Well, hey,
Um
even I'm telling you, I didn't see that photo until today when I was going through and trying to get some stuff for this episode, and it was actually you just had that photo over an audio cover of "Rain" by Creed. That's what that's from. I just took a screenshot of it and, like, trimmed it down to fit. But, yeah, I'd never heard that. I was talking to Michael, and some of the stuff I hadn't seen, he's like, "Oh, yeah, this is, like, old school," and I'm like, "Funny thing is, Christian and I used to watch each other 10 years ago. I guess I was just selective about some of the stuff. Like, I think I watched just like mostly your Halloween stuff because at that time, all I was doing on YouTube was Halloween shit. So, like, I was, if it wasn't Halloween, I wasn't clicking on
Oh,
it.
dude, I was throwing up all kinds of random videos back then. There was no rhyme or reason to anything I did.
I hear you, man. I mean, it's kind of funny. I want to poke some fun at myself now. I don't want to keep putting you on the spotlight. So, here's a good one I got for you. And you can tell me your memories of this one.
I've been meaning to do my reviews. You know, I was sick, and I got this camera about a month ago, and I was really sick, and it didn't just go away until recently. So,
It looks
Play
like
it
I'm like bad acting.
no,
Like,
play it again though, because I gotta study the background now.
I've been meaning to do my reviews. You know, I was sick, and I got this camera about a month ago, and I was really sick, and it didn't just go away until recently. So,
You seem so like you're convincing. Like, dude, I was. To be honest, were you actually sick or
so right before I had recorded that, like a month or so before that, I had been really sick with bronchitis and they gave me antibiotics. And after a couple days of taking them, I started to feel better. So I stopped. I didn't finish the course of antibiotics and it came back because I didn't finish the antibiotics. So I ended up being really sick with bronchitis for like the better part of a month. So, and then once I got over it, I did that video, but it had been over a year since I'd uploaded to YouTube. But the most recent excuse I had was I was really sick. So I went with that and watching myself. And when I was going through some of my old videos today, dude, one thing I kept noticing was like, holy shit, I'm so awkward and unsure of myself in all of these. Like these just lapses in talking. I'll like look around, I'll make a facial expression. And I'm like, why did anybody watch me back then? And that's why I didn't even get like 1,000 subs back then.
but
Because
dude, in your defense though, dude, it was tough getting people don't understand these channels that come up today. Dude, getting subs back then was not easy. It was very difficult. Because what was going on back then, it was like it was all happening in real time. Like now, if you type in Halloween movie review, you could probably spend an entire week watching a new one every 15 minutes. Back then, dude, it wasn't really it was a it wa I wouldn't even call it a market, you
no.
know? But what's funny is you have a Jersey Shore poster.
Yeah. It's not a poster, okay? That was when I worked at Spirit Halloween. That was one of my first years there. And you know how at Spirit they have those signs for like the end caps to mark like this is for this merchandise.
That's what that was?
I took the end cap sign at the end of the year and I put it up on my wall because that was back when Jersey Shore was huge. And I loved it back then. I loved it because it was just like trashy. Like I just loved Jersey Shore back in the day. And
Oh,
you
I
I know
loved it.
you know. Yeah, reality TV when we were teenagers was way different than it is now. Whether it was real or not, I don't really care. It was so much more unhinged back then. And I dug it.
Season 3 of, Jersey Shore, I still watch it, like, till this very day, I'll go back and watch it. The epic fights between Sam and Ron
Yeah.
are incredible.
Ron, stop.
I could probably quote some of that shit, dude.
Yeah, bro, they came back and they did like Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and like I watched some of it, and it was enjoyable if you were already invested with the characters. You dug it because it was cool to see those characters again, but it was nowhere near as entertaining. Like, because when you put a bunch of 20 somethings in a house, whether some of it's scripted or not, they're all getting drunk and high every night. And, like,
Right.
stuff is bound to happen.
Yeah. I always liked, for better or worse, I was always a Mike guy. Cause like he just never, he was such a son of a bitch. Like he never wavered once. I never bought into Paulie D. I just thought like he's a likable guy, but like he was just like he didn't do anything. He just
No.
he was the guy that stayed out of trouble. I always liked Mike,
But
because
he had the catchphrase. That was the thing. The cabs are here. Like that was
he did have all the catchphrases.
yeah. I like, but and my least favorite, honestly, I mean, aside from Angelina, who was awful,
Trash
and
bags.
that poor girl, they made fun of her all the time. I didn't really care for Sammy ever, and I think that was just because it was always her and Ron's drama, and I was like, bro. But Vinny, like people crushed on Vinny hard back then. I was like, this guy's boring as shit. Like Mike was at least like, yeah, Mike was a train wreck, but he was entertaining. Like Vinny was
so
just
entertaining.
boring. Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah. I thought Sammy was the hottest out of all of them. Personally, like I didn't like
I like JWoww. I like JWoww, but as the years went on, she got faker and faker, like literally, like way too much shit done to her. And my brother actually sat next to her on a flight a couple years ago, and he got off the flight and he texted all of us. He was like, "Bro, I just sat next to JWoww on that entire flight, and like I didn't say anything until the very end of the flight. It was a flight from Florida to New York because he was going to visit his dad." And he was like, at the end of the flight, like when we were waiting to get off, I like finally said something. I was like, "You're JWoww, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay, I thought so. I just didn't want to be weird and say something before the like flight took off, and we had to sit next to each other the whole time." And she was like, "Oh, I appreciate that. Like, do you want a picture?" So he got a picture with her. He's like, "Yeah, she's really cool. Like, she's just
nice
a person." Yeah.
Her boyfriend is a wrestler. I see him all the time on TV. And he was on the show with. I watched a little bit of the vacation show.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it in a while. I saw Sammy came back, but
yeah, God, yeah, that was something. All right, so
pick up on that.
Christian Baldy made a supercut of you that's about a minute long, and I know you've seen it.
I don't know if I have. He sends me shit all the time. I don't watch all of it.
I trimmed it down. So shout out to Baldy Jack here. Check him out on YouTube. Michael, appreciate this. I trimmed it down. Here's a little bit of it, guys.
I've been doing this YouTube thing for
Son of a bitch.
we've got dogs, so that's Owen Hart. Kevin, get your big ass up there. Hop up there, Chevy. The big one. First run of it. Look down there, we've got a pumpkin in our chimney.
I think I did see that. I'm a sucker for all those TikTok sounds, that boom boom sound.
I need to know, Christian. I need to know. One, this was like MTV Cribs. I felt like that was perfect to play after we talked about Jersey Shore, because that felt very reality TV. But I gotta know why you had a pumpkin in the fireplace and why you called it a chimney. You were like, "I got a pumpkin in the chimney." Why was the pumpkin in the fireplace?
Good point. I guess because it's there. I guess I always thought of them as one and the same. The chimney from the top and the fireplace. Yeah, that's just me, dude. I misspeak shit all the time. Like somebody messaged me today and they're like, "Hey, bro, I don't hope nobody clowns on you. You, instead of saying Werner Herzog, you said Werner Herzog. Like you said his name back. I don't know which way it is. He's a director, and I'm just that's just me. Like I fucking misspeak shit all the time because I'm a dumbass.
I just want to know why it was in there. You just had it. Do you guys not use the fireplace?
No. Oh, why is the pumpkin in there?
Yeah.
I saw it on Etsy and I was like, Sydney, that's fucking awesome. And she's like, okay, let's do it. And it was right around springtime. And if there's this store called At Home that's basically like a Lowe's for
Yeah.
home decor.
Yep.
And they had those big ass pumpkins, so we got one and shoved it. We shoved it in the fire. I love it. No, we don't use the fireplace. It works, but it's an old school gas fireplace too. And I leave well enough alone. I don't really mess with it. I guess I could technically still just do. I could still just put firewood in there. But if I use it, then I got to get it cleaned out, and I just leave it alone, and I just fucking shove the pumpkin there. And it's nice, dude, because what we did was I got the pumpkin in there. It's a big ass pumpkin, and I got these little string kind of lights that are orange, and I feed them inside of the pumpkin, and then I turn it on, so then the pumpkin illuminates orange out of it. And at night, when the lights are off and you're watching like a movie, it's nice. It's actually really fucking. It's pretty badass.
No, I was just like, that's interesting placement. I personally never would have thought of that. But part of that same supercut, we're gonna give you guys some representation real quick.
Gay Leatherface.
I say right foot creep, walking with that heater. Walk, look around, stay.
Gay Leatherface. Who's Gay Leatherface? I need to know about this.
So Sydney watches this channel called Dinosaur Dracula, and I love the dude's channel too. And his wall, he has a wall that's like filled with pictures of different like the frames are different sizes, and it's a bunch of old vintage stuff. And Sydney loved it, so our living room, dude, if you see the wall in the living room behind the couch, it's covered in old pictures, like old Halloween costume ads and stuff like that. And Sydney, like, there's this artist she likes to buy stuff from that makes like these kind of like pop art Universal monster stuff. And there's a Gay Leatherface one that she got where it's Leatherface with a gay chainsaw and then a rainbow behind him. So I was like, she thought I was going to hate it. And I was like, I love it. Put it up on the main wall. So
My favorite part of that is Christian was like, he emoted so well. He was like, Gay Leatherface, like so excited. Which honestly, couldn't we say like Leatherface has always been kind of gay? Like, I mean, let's be real. I don't feel like that's out of the realm of possibility. Like getting that would be like, yeah, this is Leatherface. Like, especially next generation Leatherface.
Yeah, well, the actor who portrayed him in that movie was also legitimately gay. It's so funny when I never knew any of that. So when I was listening to him on the special features, sometimes you can't tell if a guy's gay by his voice.
Yeah.
Other times you can. And so when he started, I was like, oh, he's gay. But his attitude about that movie was amazing. I forget the actor's name, but yeah, that dude was really cool. If anybody has that Scream Factory release, check those special features out because he got the movie to me. I love that Leatherface so much.
You know, I actually the other day I was listening to a podcast on that movie, and the way one of the guys on the panel recommended the movie, I mean, he tore it to shreds like the rest of the guys did.
Yeah.
But at the end, when they get to it, like, you know, whether you recommend it or not, and he recommended it. And it was surprising to the other two guys because they're like, bro, all you did was shit on this movie just like we did. He was like, yeah, but like, it's so insane that like, I can't say I didn't have a good time. Like, I wasn't bored. And I was sitting there thinking like, maybe I should go back and give this a viewing. I still don't know if it would work for me, but like, I haven't watched that movie in at least 5 years, and I've never been a fan of it. I've tried to watch it many times. I'm like, I just can't get into it. I do love McConaughey in it. Like, I think he is insane. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the whole like Illuminati shit that like just kind of throws me off. Like, I really don't. I don't know what it is, but also there's like, if I remember correctly, no chainsaw kills, and so I don't know. But maybe I need to go back and give it a chance because I feel like it might not actually be the worst in the series. Maybe. I don't know. State your case on it.
I mean, I love it. I don't know what you want me to say, to be honest with you. It's fucking crazy. And if you ask me, well, does it work? Probably not. Right? Like, what does work mean for you? Like, is it entertaining? Is it entertaining or is it not? Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little bit more nuanced, but with horror, for me, it's usually black and white. If I don't understand a movie because it's some weird David Lynch thing, or if it's Cronenberg doing whatever the hell he does, I can still like something if I don't understand it. But to me, it's just it's just a fucking it's a train wreck. I love it, but again, I completely understand what that guy's saying. I would trash it too, but I would also be like, oh yeah, you gotta see it. You gotta see it.
Yeah, and those guys, the way they go about it, and I do feel like there's two ways to review a movie, and the way that these guys review movies is they legitimately go based off of like its merit. Like they're actually like, okay, is the story coherent? Do these characters make sense? Like it's stuff like that. Whereas like with me and you, when we review a movie, it's like, and people like us in our space, it's like, did we have a good time? Was there cool shit? Was it fun? Like these guys don't do it like that. But I feel like they did walk a nice line there at the end by going, even though like one of the guys like, even though none of this makes sense, it's still fun. Like you can't say it's not. And that's why I still to this day, like when someone tells me they like Halloween Resurrection, I can't allow myself to get worked up because I'm like, I guess I get it. Like every movie has its audience. Like I guess I get it.
To the 10th degree, every movie has its audience. Like I reviewed Gummo today, and I'm not really a huge fan of it because a lot of reasons. But people, dude, I'm surprised you don't. I'm surprised, Christian. I don't. This is surprising to me, dude. I can't win on YouTube. Like over the last year, I just learned I can't win.
No,
I can't win anymore.
No,
but that's life.
Yeah. Well,
Christian. But my point is, no, there's an audience for everything today. And you got to respect that. You got to respect that.
Yeah. I need to know what was going on here.
Dude, that brings back a lot of memories. First of all, the cheap ass decorations. You remember when Walgreens sold those? You hang them on the door, and it was like just this thin kind of like paper sheet thing, and it was I had one for Freddy's Dead and one for the remake. That was me trying to go viral on YouTube, and I failed miserably. I thought it would work. I really did. And it got, I don't even know what views it has, but I failed. At the time, the Bernie was the biggest song, dude.
Yeah.
Moving like Bernie.
I would have played more of it, guys, but since he had the song on it, like I didn't want to get hit with a copyright. But there's a funny Christian turns around and like starts doing this, and like the hat came off.
It's fucking
but
embarrassing.
He had another hat. He had another hat on the bed. I think because you were like, if this falls off, I need to be able to put another one on. You had two fucking hats for the filming of that.
I can't believe how long ago that was. What was that, 2012?
Yeah, it said it was 11 or 12 years ago, something like that.
God almighty, I was 20 right there. I was and you could see how skinny I was too. I was I'm not trying to bring it down, but like that was a rough era.
Well, I mean,
that was dude, that bedroom was like, man, that brings back memory. I mean, that was my family's house. I moved out when I was 20, I think 21, 22. So that was the tail end of living at my parents' house.
Okay, well, Christian, here's something.
Okay.
I know this video. You liked it back in the day when you found it, like a decade plus ago, because we were very like-minded on this specific movie. But when I tell you that there is a video, if I had to point back to like a video, not the behind the scenes stuff, like that stuff's terrible, but like this is one of the worst videos I have on my channel.
Mhm.
And I honestly can't stomach watching clips of it, but here you
Oh,
guys
let's
go
go. Let's go.
for your enjoyment.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is in the Halloween franchise for all you jackasses that say, oh, it's not, I'm gonna make a video, but I don't have Halloween 3 because it's not a Halloween movie. It goes 2 and 4 because 3 doesn't have Michael Myers.
I hate that it cut off because my favorite part was coming up.
I couldn't do it anymore. It was hard enough to sit there and watch it. I turned the volume down on my headphones.
You know what captivated me the most about that video though? When I first saw that video, and again, people listening to this can be like, really? But again, you guys just don't understand. And I've never asked you this. When I watched that video, to see you wearing an actual shirt of the poster at that time was like mind blowing to me. Do you even remember at that point? Because that was 2010, where you got that shirt from?
Yeah. Rockabilia. I used to get the magazine thing in the mail, and because I signed up for it at some point, and I remember going through the catalog once and finding it, and I wasn't working yet. I wasn't old enough to work yet, and I was like, was I 4? I was 14 or 15. I was 15. And so I like marked it. One year was around Christmas, and I told my mom, I said, I want this for Christmas, and she ordered it from that magazine, from the catalog. So I got it from Rockabilia, and that's where I used to get a lot of my shirts back in that day. That's where I got the Rob Zombie's H2 teaser shirt. That's just the mask that says H2, which like I didn't see anybody ever wearing. And back in the day, I would have people, whether it was on social media or YouTube or whatever, be like, dude, where'd you get that? Like, I can't find that shirt. I'm like, oh, Rockabilia, dude. Like,
Is that even a website anymore?
I don't know. I really don't know. You have to look it up. Yeah.
All right. Halloween 2. Let me see if that Rob Zombie shirt's on there. Oh, no, it's gone. Wow, I was thinking I would get lucky and they would have a teaser shirt for Halloween 2 on there. Dude, I
still have it too. It's like a belly shirt on me now, though.
That video was like, I used to watch that video a lot because like at that time I hadn't seen a lot of videos about somebody liking that movie online. I just truly don't think people understand that it really genuinely wasn't like a thing like it is today. It just wasn't. Like even though I wasn't a lifelong horror fan, I got in at a time where like Halloween 3 was like nobody seemed to like it. And that's not to say that nobody did, but online, man, it didn't seem that way.
No.
Like it just really wasn't. It's just
No,
fucking crazy to think about how different it is just from that point. I can't imagine what it was like when it came out, but like just from 2010 till now, it really is fucking wild.
Yeah, people don't understand, man. Like sometimes they think that, you're exaggerating or whatever, but guys, back then, yeah, dude, you did not openly, publicly talk about liking Halloween 3. You just couldn't find videos like that. Christian, you remember that era of YouTube well. That era of YouTube was when people's collection videos were like really starting to pop off. And I think my bias, maybe this is what I search for more, but if I remember correctly, most of those were Halloween collection videos. That was the era where people were really showing off their Halloween stuff. And in damn near every Halloween collection video, it would be one of two things. The person wouldn't have Halloween 3 because they would say it's not a Halloween movie, or they would have it and they would be like, yeah, I got this, because it's technically in the series, but it's a piece of shit. I don't watch it. And then they'd move on to 4. It wasn't like, nowadays where it's cool and we're putting silver shamrock masks in the new Halloween movies. It just wasn't cool back then. And so In one way, I am happy that that video exists because I can go back to it and go, hey, I never jumped on a bandwagon, y'all. I've liked this movie from the get-go. So you can't accuse me. I don't know. It's funny, too, because I do get comments like that sometimes from people that aren't regular watchers of my channel, like, oh, dude, you're just trying to be a contrarian. I'm like, you don't know me at all then. Like, I've had a lot of these opinions for a long time. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I think his name is Curtis. I'm trying to remember what his original channel name was, but he was around during that era. And you probably, I'm sure you watched his channel. He had a Halloween channel, and his original channel name slips me, but he came back around 2012, 13, and his channel name was Mind Your Horror. And then he went away again. And it's funny because he still keeps in touch with me all these years later, and he sent me a video of him. Let me see if I can. Curtis Gibson is his name. I don't want to show any more because I don't want to show a picture of him on the internet because like I don't want to do that. But I wish I could remember Curtis's original channel name because it was. I know you would have watched his channel. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'd have to see a photo of him too. So just show me afterward.
Yeah, but anyway, he was an awesome dude, and I used to watch his stuff religiously too, man. And his channel used to blow me away because he was the guy that had the better equipment at that time. Like he had a better camera, and when you would watch his videos, it was just amazing. He actually had a tripod, which was like a foreign object to me at that point. But anyway, he sent me a video the other day, maybe a week or so ago, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I want you to see this." And he actually took his kids trick or treating in Pasadena on the streets where the houses are and everything, and it was just amazing. And it was just so cool to see him still be such a fan, because some of these people that were around back then, some of them they're still around, like Nate Dunning and stuff, but some of them, man, they're gone. Like I don't even see like there's a lot of channels that I could if I sat here and thought about it, like
Do you remember
that.
Andrew Ballina?
Sure.
Is he still around?
I don't think he's done much on his channel. No, I used to watch him. There's a lot of guys. And some of them, dude, are just gone. But Curtis was always cool, and his channel stuff was amazing. But he just got out of it, and it wasn't a priority for him anymore. And you got to respect that. But the fact that he still uploads, he's got he has got a channel where he does like family vlogs and stuff, and he posted it, so it's on his channel. It's him and his family on Pasadena going to the Myers house, and they're going to the Rob Zombie's house, and the kids are trick or treating, and they're going and knocking on the doors. It was gorgeous over there, man. It really made me. It really made me.
You got to get out
visit.
there, man. You got to get out there. I've been twice, and even my mom. You know, obviously she's a big fan of the original movie, but like my mom was never one that was like, "Oh, can't wait to go see filming location." She didn't give a shit about that. But when we went in June, obviously it had already been a couple years ago. I made her. I was like, "We got to go to LA. I know it's a 2-hour drive from where we are, but like we got to go." And she thought it was really cool. I mean, she ended up only seeing like the Myers house, the Strode house, like a couple, and then she was like, "All right." And I was like, "Y'all go do whatever. I'm gonna keep walking around, and I'll call you like when I'm done." And that's what I did. Me and my younger brother, we just kind of like walked around, and they went and did something. And but yeah, you got to get out there. It is crazy because I've told you this before. You go from like damn near Hollywood to a street over, and it's like suburban Midwest. Like it doesn't make sense. And that's exactly how the Nightmare House is. Nancy's house is situated right off of, I don't know if it's Hollywood or Orange Grove Avenue, Sunset. It's one of the big one. It's right off of that.
Right.
I mean, you take a right and here you are in a fucking like subdivision, basically. in downtown Los Angeles. Like it's insane. It's the same way with the Doyle house. That's the only thing though. The Doyle and the Wallace house and stuff. That's like a 20-minute drive from Lori's house and the Myers house. And the Doyle house is situated right off Orange Grove as well, which is like right off like Sunset, like where it's pretty insane. So yeah, I mean, no, it's cool, man. It really, really is cool. You definitely got to get yourself out there sometime.
Yeah, maybe next year, man. I don't know what it is.
Why not just wait for 50, the 50th anniversary, the 50
Like the
years in there?
convention?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to 50. I'm 100% gonna go. I can't.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No,
You said
I
that last
can't.
time.
I know, but
Say
in my
60% chance, and you'll have a better odds of going.
in my defense, I don't think I was in a financial situation last year that would have ever been something I could have realistically done. But I'm saying it in the sense of like I have to go simply just because like a lot of these people, they're getting older, and I'm never gonna get a chance to meet them if I don't go. So yeah,
I just go and buy T-shirts and do the trip where I can see the places.
yeah.
I don't
Well, I mean,
I've got. It's funny because I've got autographs of. I got Tom Atkins. I don't have Tommy Lee Wallace. I wouldn't mind getting him. He'll probably be. I think he's 74 right now. He'll be in his late 70s by the 50th. He'll be around.
yeah.
I'd want to meet him. Watch him not do it this time though.
I'm done.
Didn't he say he was done?
I don't know. You know who's not done? Tom Atkins. That motherfucker just keeps going.
I know, but I'm talking about Sean Clark. He made it sound like
Sean said 50 is his last one. Yeah, he told us 50 will be his last one. And he said he didn't even want to do 50. He said that it was like 45, 40 was going to be it for him. They talked him into coming back for 45. And then he talked himself back into coming for 50 because he was like, 50 is going to be a huge deal. It's the 50th anniversary. Like, that's going to be probably the biggest one we ever put on. I can't not be a part of that. He was like, but after 50, the next big milestone will be 100 and I'll be dead. So 50 is my last one. I'm not doing it after that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up going to that.
Yeah. I mean, by then, shit, your YouTube channel will be able to pay for that itself. Your growth has been pretty impressive. I mean, not, obviously you're trying really hard. It's paying off, but yeah, that's because I mean, we're talking what? That's 4 years, a little under 4 years. That's plenty of time. That's why I say, yeah, I'm going. I got plenty of time to plan. All right. If I don't go, it's poor planning if I don't fucking go.
Oh, I saw this on what was I looking up? Oh, I think I was just trying to look up like a nice wallpaper for my monitor. Did you know about this guy in North Carolina that completely
the Myers house in North Carolina? Yep.
Yeah, I found him and I went down a rabbit hole just looking up pictures and stuff, and the guy does all these kinds of you can go to the house and take pictures and go on the porch. Like he must have this guy. I read something. It might have been his actual website where it's like a bio. This motherfucker got every shred of detail he could about the inside, and they replicated it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is amazing.
It's not far from where they filmed Halloween Kills, because when I went to the Rusty Nail,
I'm surprised they didn't use his house for the movie.
I know. I never showed the shirt. It's in my dresser over there, but I went to the Rusty Nail, the bar from Halloween Kills, bought a t-shirt. Sandy, the owner, she was super nice, telling great stories. And she was talking about him. She's like, yeah, his house is only, 20 minutes away from here or whatever. And he does like screenings every year in the like backyard for the movie, projects it on the back of the house and people can go and watch. And I was like, oh, believe me, I know. I've read a lot about him. I didn't stop by and go see the house, I guess, because I was like, well, I've already been to the real Myers house. So like, I don't know, like, would it be cool? Sure. But also I was trying to hit every location for Kills that day. And I only had that day and we got every location. so that was awesome. But yeah, he's right around there. Which to your point, yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just go, hey, we don't have to build it on a soundstage. We can just use your house. He would have totally done it, like totally done it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's so fucking cool, man. I've thought about like that got me thinking if I had the money to do a house and like if I had the land to do it, because I'm assuming that guy had like he bought property, like he bought land and put it. If I could replicate a house, what would I do? And I thought about that.
yeah, I mean,
And
I don't think you do a nightmare thing, would you?
I'll be honest with you. I think the Myers house is cooler than the Nightmare house. There's
Yeah.
there's something simplistic about like the house is symbolic of the house is so symmetrical to the movie in a way because it's just simple. I don't know if you call it Victorian or
It
not,
looks
but
like eyes, bro. Like it looks like
it's
eyes too. Yeah.
it's the perfect simple shape house. I love it. If I didn't do that though, I'd want that iconic Amityville oval half dome shape with the big window, dude.
Yeah. I still want to see that house someday. I've never been to New York.
They changed the house doesn't have the same kind of windows anymore, which is a shame.
But I still think it'd be, I just want to see it. Like I just want to go.
Oh
and
yeah,
see
well
it.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. Did they film any of Jaws there too? Because obviously that takes place and it's supposed to take place in Amity. Did they film it there though? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. I think is Amity Island even real, or is that just a made up name for a town?
Amity. No, I want to say Amity. I don't know if Amity Island, but I believe Amity is real.
They shot it in Massachusetts.
Okay, so that's close.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
But no, that's cool. When I found that dude made his house like the Myers house, and then he has pictures on the inside, and he's got all kinds of fun horror decorations. And he's got his Halloween 3 masks in the house. And
well, speaking of Halloween 3 and Christian's love for Halloween 3 as well, guys, he's been a fan for a long time.
What the fuck was I even doing, dude?
It was a fan film, and I remember asking you about this a couple years ago. I think it was on the podcast too. You were like, "Bro, I remember." You were just like, that was at a time you were like so in love with that movie. You were like, I want to do like my own thing, and I think you said it was like, I don't know if you explained it like. Well, you'd have to watch the full video. It's only like a 3-minute video, but I want to believe that you were making it like an in-universe thing where you didn't believe like this was actually a real thing. So you put the mask on and you watched the commercial and it got you too. Yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah.
I was cringy as fuck.
We both were. It's funny when I was going through though, I was watching your Mecha Godzilla versus Godzilla one, which I've already watched. My son came over and was like, "What's that? Why are there 2 Godzillas? Is this real?" And he wanted to keep watching it. And I was like, there's nothing cringy I can take from this. So I'm not taking anything. But yeah.
That's one of my favorite videos, man. What's so funny about that is when you watch Godzilla walking, for some reason I have 2 Mousetrap board games right next to each other under my futon.
My bet
2 of them.
My favorite thing is when you have Mecha Godzilla and Godzilla going after each other, it's clearly like frame by frame. So it's like this. Yeah. But when you had Mecha Godzilla walking, it was so clearly that your hand was just out of view and you were making him walk really slow. And I was like, what the fuck?
Because I got sick of having to do those edits.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this.
People that do claymation and stuff, man, I don't know how they do it. I'd lose my mind. I mean,
it's insane. It's insanity. It's like that's one of those things where you can't have a movie that's claymation flop because you spend so much money on just doing those shots. Oh God. I couldn't do it. I don't have the patience. Like moving it notch by notch, just ridiculous. Just to do a hand motion would probably take all day.
Yeah. No, it
So
really would.
how long does a fucking movie take to do? Like, I wonder how long Nightmare Before Christmas took to film and then edit. God, I couldn't imagine.
And it's seamless too. I mean, it really is seamless. But yeah, that took forever. This is the one that Baldy brought to my attention, Christian. It wasn't the video specifically. It was a moment in this video. I literally was crying laughing. And obviously, this is self-explanatory, guys. This is like, but it's so funny because I feel like I can use this forever now. So this is Christian opening a Jimmy Jason.
Oh. It's like a turd coming out, dude.
Oh, he told me, he's like, have you seen the video of him opening the Jason where it sounds like he's busting a nut? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh yeah, you got to find it. So I looked it up and I'm like, watch. I'm like, where is it? And he goes, it's when he's taking it out of the shipper box. And I was like, okay. And I got to the point, I was laughing so hard because I mean, like, yeah, this is like that scene in Scary Movie. Was it Scary Movie where he's like, get it out of me when he's taking the shit.
You want to know something really cool?
I feel like you're underplaying how funny that is.
Oh, I mean, I lived it, so I remember. But I want to do something cool for the show. Check this out. Check 1 2. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. Add my.
What's he doing, guys? Oh yeah, I gotta bring him in.
I want to show the audience this since they just saw that video. Hold on, let me flip my camera.
Oh, it's a dog.
All right, taking y'all with me for something.
Where are we going?
Till this very day, I've got that Jason box right there. I bought that thing. I bought that Jimmy Jason off of Kmart.com, if you can believe it.
Yeah, you said that in the video. You said, just got this from Kmart.
That's just crazy to say. But yeah, I just keep we store shit in it. So yeah, till this very day, that Jimmy Jason remake box is right here. I can never get rid. I told Sydney, I said, just use it for storage. So just don't get rid of it. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. So I still got that.
Where's Jason?
He's in the back shed. I got a shed full of my shed is full of Jemmys, just full of them. I got Lecter, Michael, H2O, which the real one you want to have is the Rob Zombie one because that one looks amazing. There's the pumpkin.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Looks badass. But yeah, that's I got Freddy, you name it. I have all of them in the shed. I probably need to just go ahead and sell them because they're just sitting there. All right, let me swap back.
And then we'll give you guys this one real quick. This will just be for shits and gigs.
No, don't you dare tell me you got a 7-inch. Don't you dare tell me you got a 7-inch.
What was that from?
I don't know. He sent it to me.
What the fuck? You know, listen, I have known Baldy for so long. That kid, I guess I don't remember if I found his channel or he found mine, but
he said he found yours from the Jimmy Jason. He said he found you through that video.
Yeah, and he's been like a little brother. Like he's been in my life for so long. He's like family. Yeah, I've known him almost as long as you, pretty much. So that's a good kid. I
But
love Baldy. He's a good kid.
he's got so much that I didn't post because some of it's not appropriate. But here's one, guys. There's oh, did he unsend it? No, he didn't unsend it. No, here it is. Okay, this one he sent me. I didn't upload it, but you're reading the plot synopsis of a movie called Beneath.
Below the surface, a catastrophic collapse traps them and a crew of miners.
He said to me, he said to me, he's like, do you want to see a video of Christian talking about being trapped in a cave with miners? I was like, what the fuck? I swear to God, he spends so much time just like I think he watches like every one of your videos, which more power to him. That dedication. I don't do that for any YouTuber, but like I think anytime he hears or sees anything that can be taken out of context in one of your videos, he's like, hold on, let me clip
he'll
this.
do it. He'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just got
he's wild, dude. He'll make his channel. I used to love his channel. He doesn't really upload a whole lot anymore, but he's got a lot of stuff going on. But he was all into those figures, and he loves like he's a Friday the 13th kid, and man, he has all those. He's got stuff that I would love to have till this very day. Like even stuff that I'm pretty much like retired from buying. Like I don't get any more. I say I don't. It's got to be really cool for me to want to get any sort of like figure or anything. But he has all those sideshow collectibles, which at the time when those were coming out, it was like beyond insurmountable price wise for me to think I could get. But he has all those, man, and he's got some of those Mezco Cinema of Fear plushies that are real expensive. He's got a Leatherface one for part 2 that is like, man, they barely pop up on eBay. And it's so funny because I was like, how did you get this? He goes, oh, I got it when it came out. And I was thinking to myself, well, how old are you? And he was telling me, I was pretty much a baby at that point when in 2007, 8, 9. I was like, so you were just into those movies at those age? And he's like, yeah. And it just throws me off because I wasn't. So to think about people that were like obsessed with Texas Chainsaw 2 when they were 9 is like wild to me. But he was, so he was going to Spencer's and getting those Mezcos and all that shit, which I remember looking at him and seeing him and thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. But I wasn't buying any of them. I wish I was.
So, oh my God. No.
Huh?
I was trying to come in here, not in it, but it automatically did it because I was going to try to add something into as an overlay, but I guess I'll just show it on here because this is another thing he sent me. I don't know the context of it, but there's Christian just like dead on a couch, it looks like.
Oh, that's for my review of Signs.
He's also got this one.
Yes, to take a piss.
There's this. Oh,
what the fuck is that?
And then this one.
Fuck you.
Play that one again. Is that it?
It's just hold on. Yeah, it's just this.
Fuck you.
Oh man, he could make a TikTok just memeing your YouTube channel with clips like that, and he could probably get really popular.
That'd be like, I'd approve that. Let me tell you something about that kid too. You know what's so funny, dude? He's actually like, you can tell just by that, like he's good at doing that sort of editing stuff. Dude, that kid is really talented. He really is. I remember he was like, hey man, I want to do these kind of like retrospective reviews on the Friday the 13th. And I was like, that's awesome. And I think I either was like, dude, you should let me hop on one or whatever. Or he asked me, it doesn't matter. But regardless, he was like, okay, this is what we're doing. I got a script written for the review. and he sent it to me. Like he said, "This is your lines. You read this." Nick, I'm telling you, this kid can write too. Like he sent me a script breaking down the movie, and I remember reading it. And I was like, "This is fucking really good." And so I read off the lines, and I just put my personality into it. And like I remember when the video was done, he showed it to me, and I was like, "Wow, it's just amazing." He's a super talented kid. I hope
Every
he gets.
time he sends me a supercut, like a
It's
supercut of you or whatever, it is gold. Like it is money. The one where it's like he'll slow it down. He'll like it's just he's got talent, man. He really does. Like that's
I need to tell him
he could go viral. He could.
he needs to either send me those and I'll just post them on TikTok myself, or he needs to post them on TikTok because that shit's funny.
I wanted to show you the full one, but he used a clip of a guy saying a word that I had to cut it. But I want to find the whole 53 so here's the whole 53-second one. Hold on. With the dogs. Hold on, I'm gonna mute the mic real quick.
Hey, Leatherface.
What else was it?
This doesn't. Been buying movies regularly since 2009.
He just got pissed at the end going, what?
Oh God, you need to send that one to me. I don't think he's ever sent me that one.
The one part, the one part that I had to cut out. It's hilarious. I wanted to keep it in, but I was like, I don't want to piss anybody off. And I messaged him that I was like, I need to trim this one down. I think for you. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I was like, yeah. But nah, he's good. He's good. Yeah, so that's all that I brought, video and photo wise. Just thankful over the years for some of the eras that we've gone through on YouTube, and I guess to touch on Thanksgiving a little bit, I will just say this, and you'll probably give me pushback, because I think you're a big planes, trains, and automobiles guy. But
I have a Secret Weapon movie.
Well, I was gonna say I think that Thanksgiving is like the go-to for me now, and that's like the only one. Like I haven't watched Thanksgiving in years, and I would never try to say that it's good. But what's the Secret Weapon?
My favorite Thanksgiving movie to watch is Dutch.
Never heard of it.
Oh man, it's Al Bundy from Married with Children. What's his name? Ed O'Neill. Yeah, it's Ed O'Neill, and he's picking up his stepson that he's dating. He's dating the kid's mom, and they're traveling across state to get home for Thanksgiving, and they don't like each other, and they have a bunch of hijinks. It's a great movie. It was a Thanksgiving movie from '91, and for some reason it's kind of lost. You can't really find it. It may be streaming now. I don't know, but for the longest time, I would have to just find a video link of it to watch the movie. But it is so good. It's really funny. That's like my Secret Weapon Thanksgiving movie. I love watching that one. But it's like I don't talk about it a whole lot because it's not an obscure movie. It was like big when it came out, but it's not pop culture anymore for some reason. But it's so
I've never heard anybody talk about it. Never.
Oh, it's so funny.
Well, Christian's going to make it popular now. A bunch of people watching it like, I'm going to watch it. And then next year you're going to see videos of like, the best Thanksgiving movie is Dutch. And you'll go back and remember this video, guys.
I am ready for Thanksgiving too. I am.
Same. Same.
I'm glad he took a year off. No, I'm ready for Nosferatu. I know that, man. I'm really. I need to get that popcorn bucket. I need the bucket. I don't care.
Do you know if it's to me? Is it Cinemark, AMC? Who's doing it? Regal.
Well, what I'm seeing happen now is all three of them will have different iterations of it.
Yes, but which one has the sarcophagus?
I want to say that was Cinemark, which if that's the case, I'm in good shape. But if it's AMC, I'm screwed. If it's Regal, I have to drive an hour to go look, but I can do that.
Let me look.
But I don't know. It's funny because I just saw. I watched Gladiator the other day because Gladiator 2 just came out, and Cindy was like, "Look at this!" And Cinemark has a Gladiator 2 dome popcorn bucket. It's huge. It's the size of a salad bowl. But I meant to go look at the theater. I forgot to go. I might go tomorrow and see if I can find it.
I'm not seeing on Google. I mean, I can find it really quick, but did you also see what it looks like when you reserve a seat for Nosferatu on Fandango?
No, which I don't use that. I just use the website for. Oh, that's cool.
Those are the reserved seats.
I've still got all my eggs in the basket for that to be the best movie of the year.
Yeah, let me see. It's not even. It just says will be available in theaters. Who's it through? Who's it through? This is bullshit. Yeah, no, I made a video on it on the movie, which, dude, it's another one of those videos. I don't know if you've had this happen before where you upload a video and it does not do well. And then like a day or two later, all of a sudden it's just getting views. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's happening with this one because I said in the video that I think that a lot of people are sleeping on it in the sense of like everybody's talking about Smile 2 and Late Night with the Devil and you know, a lot more popular horror movies that have come out this year that people are saying, oh, this movie was great. I don't think enough people are like actually stopping to think like, wait, we're also getting like what could be like, I don't know, just in terms of like pure filmmaking, like maybe the best horror movie of the year. And I just don't feel like enough people are talking about it. And I got to give you a shout out too. I called myself out in that video too. And I said, I didn't go see Renfield in theaters or Last Voyage of the Demeter, and both those movies failed, and we can't let that happen with this one. Like, it's just, it can't happen. I guess there's a deeper question there. Do you think the vampire subgenre is dead?
No. I can understand Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's way too long of a name. Nobody wants to say it, much less probably go see it. Renfield, I don't think the trailers did it any justice. It looked like a Marvel movie, probably, to people, which there's a lot of burnout on that as well. If Demeter came before Renfield, we might be having a different conversation. That's another thing. But I also think just going straight ahead and making something called something as simple as Dracula or Nosferatu is the right thing to do too. It's like no more on the nose, no more, okay, well, we can't just call it this, blah, blah, blah. It's Nosferatu. Everybody knows what that is. You don't have to educate people on that. Well, at least not older people.
No.
I have a really good feeling about Nosferatu. I really do. I'm hoping it's not just me getting my hopes up. I don't know what it is. I love Dracula. To me, Dracula is the greatest character of all time in horror. I just don't think that's the mecca. You don't get any bigger than Dracula. And it's like to see movies that have that character flop just breaks me. It really makes me sad. And I mean, I think if Renfield would have came out after Voyage, it might have been a little bit different, but maybe not. I could be putting factors together that don't make any sense. But I don't know. I have a good feeling about Nosferatu. I think there's a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it buzz. I feel like there's a little bit, maybe not a huge buzz, but it's under the surface, kind of like, oh yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, are you gonna go on Christmas Day?
I don't know. Probably
Well, I mean,
not.
I would think that you, like most people, I mean, because this is how I always do it. Yeah, we do family stuff and everybody does, but usually by Christmas evening, that's all done. You know, family goes their separate ways. By the evening, you all have opened presents. I mean, everybody knows the worst day of the Christmas season is Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is the best. So it's like once you get done with like the presents and the lunch, dinner, whatever it is, and the get together, it's kind of just like, okay, what do I do now? So I think I
Well,
probably will go that night.
I think to that meme of the person looking at the guy at the register, and it says the meme is, "Damn, why they got y'all working today?" And it's on a holiday, and the person says, "Because motherfucker, you're here." So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like I think about that, I'm like, ugh. This is not a movie. You know, this is not a movie where I'm interested in trying to have a first review out or anything like that. It's just I want to love it above anything else, and I want to enjoy it. And I don't want to. I don't think I'm gonna go on Christmas Day, man. I'm just gonna go do my thing, and then fucking I can wait. I don't. I
Where
just. I think I'll be worn out. I'll be exhausted by the night anyway, and I want to see Nosferatu in the morning. Like I'm fresh. I'm not exhausted. I'm not tired. I'm not exhausted. I'm not full of fucking because we eat ham and turkey on Christmas again.
Oh
So
yeah, honey
I'm
baked
not
ham,
gonna.
brother.
If I watch it at night, fuck. That'll be the toughest challenge of my entire life is trying to stay awake. So I'll wait. I'll wait till the next day or a couple days after that.
Where are you at on Eggers as a filmmaker? Like, because I saw some of the comments that to my video, there were people that were giving a little bit of pushback, saying like, "Well, Eggers hasn't made a great movie yet. He's made good movies. He hasn't made a truly great movie yet."
I think that's totally fair. I don't know, man. Like every bit of footage I've seen for this so far, I thought it looks like a massive movie. I love The Witch. I do think people conflate some of these movies and say, "Oh, it's a fucking masterpiece." It's a simple movie. It's a great movie. Now people see it as that. That's fine. I'm not gonna necessarily say, "Well, that's total bullshit," but I personally would I call The Witch a masterpiece? No, it's just it's a well done, suspenseful, simple movie that works really well. But I'm I don't know. I'm kind of old school, man. I love the big world feeling movies. I like that stuff. Not everything needs to be this simple nothing. Just, give me a big fucking world. Show me Transylvania. Show me all this shit. Show me all these gothic buildings. Like I want something that feels really big and all that. And I'm hoping that's what this is gonna be. But what else did he do? So I've watched The Witch.
The Lighthouse.
I'm gonna be honest. Like The Lighthouse, I seen it twice. I should have only watched it once.
Yeah, I only
That's
watched
what
it
I'll
once.
say about that.
Yeah, I can
wife
respect
loved
what
it.
it was trying to do, but yeah.
But that's the thing. What was it trying to do? Like I don't know.
Tell the
Explain
story
it
of.
to me.
I think it was a character study on those two characters and how they're driven to insanity. And it does.
I'd argue that the old man was already fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely Eggers riding that high from The Witch for sure, because that movie definitely did get a lot of attention, and I think he really wanted to get weird with his next movie, and he got really weird. And like Defoe is great in it, Pattinson's great in it. I love the period piece nature of it. I think it's just like you could watch that movie like on a one of those tube TVs, the fucking box TVs in black and white, and it would just fit perfectly. But
yeah,
narratively, yeah, it really is kind of all over the place for me narratively, and it's definitely more about like symbolism and metaphor than actually like substance, I feel like. So I watched it one time and I was like, hey, respect the hell out of it. It's definitely a like objectively good movie. It's just not really my thing. And that was a
Yeah,
blind buy. I bought that blind just because I like Pattinson and I liked The Witch. So I was like, I'll buy it.
Yeah. So watching it for the first time, especially when you're like, oh, this movie's fucking wild, and oh, you got to just sit there and let it happen to you like that. I'm down with that, and I like that. But after you watch it and you experience it, that's just like Sydney was watching it, and I just kind of just sat there and watched it too, and I was just like, I already know what's gonna happen. It's like I can't get lost. I can't get absorbed in the sound of just the fucking air in the room again because I've already seen it. So like as cool as that kind of those movies are, man, it's just like you can't like there are just in my opinion, there are movies that are first time watch masterpieces. And then after that, you truly just don't want to see it again. It doesn't work. It's just like it doesn't work on repeat viewings. And to me, that's what The Lighthouse is. So I can't really
Oh,
knock it.
yeah.
But if I would have never saw it again, I'd be like, oh, I loved it. But if you watch it again, to me, it's just like,
I mean,
it's just like, oh, I gotta sit through this again.
yeah,
So
no, I agree. I'll never, I won't say I'll never. I've never watched it again. And I do own it, but I've never watched it since. And yeah, I mean, it has merit for sure. And I know it's one of those movies too. Like you talk about The Witch. I never was one that was like, The Witch is a masterpiece. It's my favorite movie of Eggers for sure. But I mean, I'm not putting it on the level of what I would actually genuinely consider, like, no bullshit, an actual masterpiece. I've said that before jokingly about movies. But yeah, no, it's good. The Northman too. That's not a horror movie. That was different for Eggers.
oh, that
but that's
was
a really
him.
good movie. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that movie.
yeah, that's a really good movie too.
That's probably my favorite. I didn't realize that was him. I love
Yeah.
the Northman.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
I'll be down.
yeah. Here's the thing. You talk about how this movie looks like it's a really big movie, and it does. It looks like a big movie.
It
That
feels like a big world.
It makes you wonder how much did it cost, and then it makes you worry, man, if this thing flops. Like, if people don't go see this movie, ooh, there's no way it was cheap. There's absolutely no way the movie was cheap.
I'm trying to see if I can find anything about that because now I'm curious. I would say it probably costs like
50?
25, 30.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe more. I don't know. I don't know where they filmed it. No way they filmed it in America. No way.
No. Did you see the thing earlier this week about what Bill Skarsgård did for the role?
Nuh-uh.
He like met with a vocal coach. He worked with a vocal coach to train his voice an octave lower, like his talking voice for the character. And he was warned that by doing that, he could do damage to his vocal cords permanently. And he didn't care. He wanted his voice to get deeper for the role. So he like dedicated himself that way to it. And that's pretty cool.
I still got to watch The Crow.
I was just about to ask you. I saw you post it like last week that you got it, but you haven't watched it yet. And I want to hear your thought. I was really hoping you had seen it and you were going to be like, you know what? I dug it too, because then we could both be villains here.
So well, the thing that sucks is it's just like I got a lot of stuff I got to keep up with. I just got this from Paramount. So there's only a few Christopher Nolan movies I have not seen. I like the one about the bomb. I forget the name.
Interstellar? Not Interstellar. Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I like that. I hate Tenet.
Yeah, didn't care for Tenet.
I don't like the one with Leonardo DiCaprio having the dreams.
Inception.
I hate Inception. But I got it from Paramount. They put out this 10th anniversary of Interstellar. I've not seen it. When I showed it, Sydney saw it. She's like, "That movie's fucking amazing." And I was like, really? I was like, I got to watch it. I got to review it and do a review on this release for Paramount. And she's like, oh God, I can't wait. I love that movie. And I was like, well, don't tell me anything about it. Don't say a word about it. I just know Matthew McConaughey's in it, which is an automatic 3 stars. That's an automatic.
It's great.
So-
There's no way you're not going to like it. If you don't like it, you don't have taste. I'm just going to say that is.
Well, I got a really good feeling about it.
Yeah.
That
And
that's
the Dark
tomorrow morning for me.
The Dark Knight and Interstellar are what most people say are his best movies.
Can you just please, you don't have to agree with me, but can you just acknowledge the fact that the editing on the fight scenes in those Batman movies
is bad? Yeah, it's bad.
But why is that? Why do, okay, never mind. We're good. We're cool then. I just, dude,
Yeah.
I am an old school action guy, and that is literally like baby burning to me. That's how big of a sin that is.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but man, I'm the kind of guy, my favorite action movie is Bloodsport. And those are fucking martial artists in that movie that choreograph fights, one camera, low angle, wide lens, and they fucking fight. And it's gorgeous. And they get the camera angles perfect to where it looks like they're connecting and boom. And you can understand the entire fight with Balo Young, the greatest villain of all time. And it's beautiful. And I can't understand why why Nolan, he's such this brilliant filmmaker. Why, to me, would he colossally fuck up those fight scenes and edit them like that to where it literally, I mean, it truly doesn't make sense.
No,
Everything it's a literal blur, which I don't get it.
I don't either. Look, I'll just say, like, his Dark Knight trilogy is obviously really good, but it does two things somewhat poorly. Batman is not great in those movies. I don't like the outfit. I hate the voice that Christian Bale uses. It got memed for a reason. It's so over the top. It's just like, why do this?
But he had probably the greatest Joker of all time, you know?
Exactly. And I think that what happened with Heath Ledger right before the film came out only helped its profile before it came out. It was just this huge deal. I mean, you're not going to get much argument from me. I think a lot of people were prisoners of The Dark Knight for a long time because, let's be honest, dude, like, as much as someone might like Batman 89 or some people might forgive Batman and Robin, even though that movie is a piece of shit, like, we hadn't had a movie like The Dark Knight that like took Gotham seriously, like a script that like it was just so fucking tight. That script was like every character, their motivations, like it was great performances across the board. Like it was just a great movie, period. So people kind of excuse some of the shoddy editing with the action and the over the topness of Bale's performance. But I feel like once the Batman came out a couple years ago, I was like, oh, this is head and shoulders better. Like head and shoulders better than that movie. And, you know, you still have people that are prisoners of the moment with The Dark Knight. And they're like, no, The Dark Knight is the best Batman movie. I just can't get there anymore. I had that internal debate with myself too. And I watched The Dark Knight. It's an amazing movie. I'm not taking anything away from The Dark Knight. But like, if The Batman is the beginning of a new trilogy and that's the first installment, and if you just go based off of what Nolan did, obviously The Dark Knight was way better than Batman Begins. So if this one is already starting off on par with The Dark Knight, I have no doubt that by the time Reeves is done with his trilogy, it's going to be easily the best Batman trilogy ever put to film. And that's the difference too. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like when you doing Batman that way, he's not like Spider-Man. I don't need a bunch of crazily edited action fight sequences in a Batman movie. Like it's more about the detective work. It's more about the specter of the character for me personally. I can't wait for you to watch The Penguin. Guys, Christian's been talking the last couple days. He's off work this week and he's going to get around to watching The Penguin. And it was funny because not long ago we talked about it. I asked him if he'd seen it. He's like, nah, you know how I am with that superhero stuff. But I was like, dude, it's so much more than that. And it's going to be required viewing before you see the Batman 2. And, you know, the other day he's like, you know, it actually looks like this like mafia thing. And like, I don't know, like it looks like, and I'm like, dude, it's so good. It is so good. But I don't know. I mean, long story short, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. People forgive Nolan because he's Christopher Nolan. But there's stuff about his Batman movies that's just not good. And I mean, I don't know. Would you say?
I kind of hate the first one passionately. I really tried to rewatch them a year ago, and the what's it called? Just called
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. I within the first 5 minutes of seeing like just a quick little thing between Qui-Gon Jinn and Batman when he goes to like just like I wouldn't even call it a fight, but like he attacks him, and I literally couldn't understand what happened. I just told Cindy, I said she got mad at me. I said just fucking turn it off. I can't enjoy it. And maybe that makes me an old man, but like, dude, I'm a particular kind of action movie guy, and that's my biggest turnoff. It annoys me so bad when the fight stuff is edited to where you can't really understand it, but you get the effect of what happened just enough. It's edited just enough where you can kind of like you can kind of follow it, but you really don't know what the fuck you're watching. Dude, it's my biggest I get so annoyed. And the John Wick movies don't do that, and the John Wick movies are my savior for action today.
You're a Batman 89 guy, right?
Yeah,
That's
I love
your
that movie.
favorite. Yeah.
Dude, I kind of find Batman like kind of preposterous a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's not like good at anything. He's like when you told me I needed to watch Batman versus Superman, in my head I'm like, dude, why would Superman?
I said you need to watch Man of Steel.
Well, no, you mentioned, but my point is this: when you mention that, I'm thinking in my head, how is that even a fight? How could Superman not literally just snap this guy in half?
Kryptonite, because they had to write, of course, way back in the comics, in the beginning of Superman, they had to write a weakness for him, and that weakness was kryptonite. So if Batman has weapons that are fitted with kryptonite, yeah, he can technically, but I agree with you. Look, Batman v Superman is not a very good movie. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care for Ben Affleck as Batman. Never liked him as Batman. Henry Cavill is great as Superman, though. At the end of the day, it's an okay movie. I think I gave it like 3 stars. I think it was 3 stars. But it's required viewing if you liked Man of Steel, because it's the sequel to Man of Steel. Because DC had no idea what they were doing. They had a semi-hit with Man of Steel, and they were like, let's just go right into like team-ups. Like, let's not do a sequel to Man of Steel. Yeah. This will be the sequel, which was stupid, but I thought the same thing. That's why I never saw it in theaters back in the day when it came out, because I was like, how would this even be a fight? Right. Superman would just kill him. This isn't even a thing. But you know how these movies go, just like Godzilla and Kong. They team up. Like, of course. Duh. That's not a spoiler. That's how all these versus movies go, aside from Freddy versus Jason.
So I picked up Godzilla -1 finally on 4K, which I should have gotten the actual just Japan release, because mine doesn't have the black and white version I wanted to see. But I think I could stream that. But I watched immediately when Sydney saw that I finally got Godzilla -1. She's like, "Oh, we got to rewatch that." Dude, that is the best Godzilla movie. I've seen every Godzilla movie ever made. I've watched every one. You cannot tell me that Godzilla -1 is not the best Godzilla movie ever made.
No, it's the best one I've seen. It's the best one I've seen. Just in pure story, acting, portrayal of Godzilla, stakes.
It is amazing how well the story is, where you are literally... I never find myself begging to see Godzilla in that movie. It is fucking insane how good it is. You know, and I don't think the American ones are competing with it. I think they are just being roller coasters, and that's fine. But dude, it's just Toho have outdone themselves.
Good luck competing with that. How do you? You saw they brought Homeboy back, right? He's doing another Toho Godzilla. The director of -1, I didn't even
good. Oh yeah, good. Bring him back.
Yeah,
dude, they need to bring back some classic monsters and do it. I mean, really do it right. I mean,
I want Ghidorah.
I want Space Godzilla. I want Space Godzilla.
No, I want Destroya. Give me Destroya. We haven't seen that in a long ass time.
But yeah, dude, I just can't believe how good that movie is.
You know, Christian,
blows
let's
me
be
away.
honest. The franchise that's going to bring Space Godzilla in first is absolutely going to be the American ones because they just get really stupid at times. They're going to bring Space Godzilla in first.
That's fine because I'm such a fan of Space Godzilla, like the movie, and I always had the toys of him back when I was a little kid, like in the late '90s. I have one in my closet over there. Like I have one; it's still in the box. I keep it. It's called Godzilla Final Wars, the series toys, and it's Godzilla, and there's a Space Godzilla. It's on my wall.
Is that an automatic 3 stars if they bring him in?
Space Godzilla is 3 3/4 stars.
Okay. You guys heard it here first. If the next American Godzilla movie brings in Space Godzilla, Christian's going to recommend it.
Dude, I like Godzilla 14. I do.
I know. We've relitigated. I know you said that's your favorite of the MonsterVerse simply because you found the human story to be the most compelling. You like the way they handled Godzilla.
Well, I say compelling. I mean, it's just the movie there's nothing fruity pebbles about it. There's nothing overtly fun about Godzilla 2014. Right? It's
a disaster movie.
I think the villain bears a striking semi resemblance of other monsters we've seen from like Godzilla 2000. But
who cares?
Why didn't they just bring Godzilla back and just he tore up? Why couldn't it just been Godzilla under the ground and he came out and he tore up the city? You know, I mean,
America doesn't want to do that, and I agree with you. I think that's part of one of the things that made -1 so great was like when Godzilla was on screen, it wasn't like who's Godzilla gonna fight? It was like, oh shit, Godzilla's about to level a city and kill tens of thousands of people. Like, and we've talked about this too. It obviously makes sense because Japan has always viewed Godzilla differently than America does. Godzilla is the enemy to Japan. Godzilla is America. Like, and in America, Godzilla's like, fuck yeah, Godzilla. Like, we view him differently. The cultures view him differently.
What are they going to do next in America? Have they said?
They hired a director. Scripts being written. It's not Wingard. Although he did say that both sides are open to him returning in the future. I don't know if it was a scheduling thing or what. I think it was. Yeah, they're doing another one. I think it comes out in 2026. It might be 2027. I can't remember. They're giving it a couple years, which is good. I think that's necessary. You
would think a movie like a Godzilla movie takes at least a couple years to make.
Yeah. But there's a lot of speculation. Nobody knows what it's going to be about. But obviously, you're still going to have Kong in it because they're now just like, I mean, they're one and the same now in those movies. But everybody's wondering. Who do you bring in? What villain do you bring in? You want my opinion? I'm there with you. Space Godzilla or Destroya. That's what I want to see. Either one of those or Mecha Ghidorah. Like they saved a Ghidorah head after King of the Monsters, and we never followed that plot line back up. They literally saved a head. Like you could do Mecha Ghidorah, or you could just go, let's tap something new. Let's do Space Godzilla, or let's do Destroya. I'm cool with any one of those. Anything else, I just don't really care, man. Like, I thought Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire was fun. Don't get me wrong. I really had a good time with that movie, but like, nobody knows who the fuck Scar King and Shimo are. Like, these are just like what? That's not the characters I want to see. Like, kind of tap you've got a well of great characters. Like, bring one of them in. And you can't tell me, well, we still want to be taken semi-seriously. And if we go the Space Godzilla route, you want to be taken semi-seriously? You guys you did dental work on Kong in the last movie. Like, come on. Just
they did, didn't they?
Yeah, like, come on. This is insane.
Man. Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know what they'll do, but I'm sure it'll be
fun. I'm sure it'll be fun. Whether it's great.
Well, I hope it'll be fun, but I'm sure I don't know. I'm excited for what Toho does next because I wonder if they're gonna reboot it again, just do a different version, or they're gonna follow up.
Early word about that is that the reason they brought him back is it's going to be a sequel to -1.
Yeah.
Because we saw at the end of -1, obviously, that Godzilla's not dead. Godzilla can regenerate. So, and if that's, I mean, if you're bringing that director back, you tease that at the end of that movie and how well that movie went over. I mean, it did gangbusters here in America. It was like, that doesn't happen, as you know, for Toho movies in America, in theaters, like, that just doesn't happen. So, like, I think Toho sees this as an opportunity, like, bro, we can have a bona fide hit here at home and in the States. Like, what? Like,
When they showed Godzilla in the opening scene where he was like 20 feet tall instead of 200 feet tall,
yeah.
dude, that Godzilla, I would have taken a movie of just that Godzilla
Dude,
because that thing could
he's
move like a
feral.
he was like a giant velociraptor.
Yes. Yep.
It was fucking crazy.
You know, it's funny, in the theater as I'm watching that scene, I'm sitting there thinking, is this really how big he's gonna be? Like, I don't know how I feel about that. This isn't a very big Godzilla. Like, he's mean, don't get me wrong, but like, he's not very big. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because like, yeah, no, yeah, he was a demon.
Yeah, that was good. That was good shit. God, man. But yeah, that was probably my favorite movie last year.
Yeah, it came out last
2023?
December.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite movie last year. I don't know what my favorite movie is this year. It's tough to say so far.
It's not over yet. Hold out hope for Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really like VHS Beyond. I keep going back to that. I gotta go watch the third Creep that just came out on Shudder. I gotta watch that. I hated
Okay,
Creep
no,
too.
that's the Creep tapes, right? Isn't it like a mini series or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just look at it as Creep 3.
Yeah, I didn't really jump for that either because I didn't like Creep 2 either. So I was like,
It's-
really?
Yeah,
Like, we're doing this?
I hated Creep 2 because it was just like, man, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, but a lot of people liked it, dude, which blew my mind. A lot
I
of people
hated it.
like that movie.
Yeah, I didn't like it whatsoever. I thought the first Creep was amazing.
Yeah, that one's really good.
It's so uncomfortable when you see him like in the bathtub and shit. Mark
Yeah.
Duplass is his name, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 2 more episodes before the end of the year. Because we'll do one in near early middle December, probably do something Christmas related. And then I want to do one at the very end of the year so we can go over our favorite movies of the year. I don't think we've ever done that as an episode, which is kind of blows my mind that we've never like done a year end episode and go, okay, let's run down like our top 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to do that as well. So look forward to that. But y'all, I hope that us not really talking about movies was enjoyable. You guys seem to like those episodes sometimes where we just talk about whatever. I hope the first hour of this was fun for you and you got to laugh with us because, believe me, some of that stuff is embarrassing to look back on for sure. Christian, do you have any parting words for the people before we go?
Just have a good Thanksgiving, guys, and enjoy it. It's Thomas flying, man. And you know, you gotta stop and just smell the roses, stop worrying about what you gotta do tomorrow and just enjoy today because it's blowing my mind how fast time is moving right now. It's scary. So enjoy it, guys. Stop and then live for today. Stop worrying about what you gotta do tomorrow because that's what tomorrow's for, to deal with it then. So just stop, enjoy yourself, and live in the moment. That's what I'll tell the people today.
Yeah, and I'll second that and saying to all you guys, I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving, whether you spend it with friends, family, by yourself, whatever you do. Hope you all have things in life that you are thankful for. Appreciate you guys watching this. Throw a like on here. Subscribe to either one of our channels if you haven't already. We'll be seeing you in a few weeks for something Christmas related. So, without further ado, we're going to close the show with an oldie, but a goodie.
Gay Leatherface.
I say right foot creep, oh, I'm walking with that heater. Look around, stay.